Welcome back. We are playing Victoria 3 as Japan, and we are having some struggle bus times trying to make allies, which we need to do for this achievement. We currently started a little bit of a war, which I guess maybe that's why we're having a hard time making allies. We are trying to do a couple things. We didn't start this war. Okay, we made a diplomatic play in the Nile to take Sinai so we can construct the canal. And then we joined two plays against France because they stuck their finger in our pie first, so we're going to stick ours in theirs. Other thing we got going on is we are switching over to electric trains, or we are starting to switch over to electric trains all over here. In this mega industrialized quarter. And so, that will help us with the infrastructure once we start switching over, and will also drive up the demand for electricity a lot. I think a lot of kind of what we're slumping in now is just not enough demand for various things, and so gotta kind of start switching things around in order to create demand. Just going to add a couple of these at the end of the queue. Electricity is about to get very expensive. And start these three wars, which are really just two wars, because one of them is just, we have two wars against France, and then one war against Egypt, and then we will see how we can do these, how well we can manage. We are moving a lot of guys to this front who has nobody on it. Maybe we actually land, this. It's kind of a smaller unit. Let's go Uro. I took from the wrong front, or not the front we wanted to take from. I thought we had someone on this front. That's not good. Okay. And we also are building a lot of military, or just recently built a lot of military. We can kind of, I mean, we can even double the size of our military and it still will be fine. So we're kind of doing that. We don't really expect to stop France. We're just trying to clap France a little bit and cut them down to size somewhat. I'm currently just doing extremely... This is the best I've ever done on terms of radicals versus loyalists. These are our laws for doing that. We are notably, like, not just cranking out a whole ton of, like, old age pensions or whatever. We have regulatory bodies and old age pension, which I think is kind of... And we have it at level 1, so... We only have 10% welfare payments. We are not even paying that much in welfare, just 42k. And then we have... Where is it? Where's the other one? Oh, the working conditions, which the only cost of this seems to be admin, unless I'm mistaken. And so increasing this seems to be pretty good. We won't do it right now because we're like already going to be running a bureaucratic deficit, but we will figure out a way to right that ship. And we are very quickly going to close this front off and try and swap over. Oh, looks like Egypt just backed down and gave us what we wanted, which is perfect with us. Except I don't think we can construct the canal, would be my guess, because we don't own all of it. We have to take some dirt from Austria. I don't think we can because we're currently at war, which is a little bit of a not funness, and they're already belligerent towards us, so I guess we won't be getting allies with them. Currently we're looking like it's most likely we're going to be able to ally Spain and the UK. Notably, Russia is no longer a great power. If we take a look at the great powers, it is us, Japan, with 1.3 billion economy, and then a third of the economy, France, and then Austria, North Germany, British Republic, and East India Trading Company, followed by Spain. Don't really know how Spain managed to edge out Russia, but okay. And then Confederacy also broke apart last episode, which was both sad for us because we had the U.S. as an alliance, but also like yeah, I don't know. It was grim. But yeah, we're here to kill some French soldiers. And I guess we will have to try and take this Sinai from Austria. Now, let's take a quick look at... We are currently bankrolling in order to try and get people in our customs union and stuff. This type of thing. And so, also to improve relations. That's pretty far off. New Granada might not... we did want them cordial, though, so that we could do a decision to acquire land in Panama, which now we will do. That is mainly why we were improving our relationship. So now we get this little stint in Panama. Overall, this seems like a buggy type thing, but we were going to construct the Panama Canal. And, since New Granada is antagonistic towards us, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get them into our customs union very easily. So we are going to stop bankrolling them, mainly just for the Diplo and to clean up this tab. And then we're going to take a... Game is starting to get choppy in 1905, which is kind of how it's been so far. We're going to take a look at infrastructure. We're doing fine on infrastructure. We are going to be starting to switch over to electric trains, which is going to create a problem. We have women in the workplace. Perfect. Birth rate is much less important because, one, we have a low death rate because of private medicine, and two, we are relying heavily on immigration in order to get pops, and so it becomes less important, and the increased workforce, I think, more than pays for it. But... now, I think that we have compulsory primary school, perfect, and I think the only one we want is women's suffrage, and we tried past it, but we couldn't, and now only a few people oppose it, and so I guess we'll go for that as well, just back to back. Perhaps a little bit of a mistake. We did not go for suffrage, I think, because we couldn't, and we were just going to take one tick, and we just got lucky on the tick, so, we couldn't because we had just quit it and then reloaded back onto it. We are damaging relations with China because we are hoping to go after Korea, I think. Radical Netherlands is hoping to sway us in their play against the Netherlands. What are they offering us? An obligation. If we like their politics, I think we're going to do it. Monarchy agrarian. Don't like that very much. Universal suffrage. Okay, I guess. Guaranteed liberties. This is kind of similar enough to us that we might be able to... We also might be able to pull them into our market. And, okay. I think I'm okay with rumbling here. We are supporting against Venezuela and Luxembourg. I guess I should have taken a closer look at that. Now, why can't we reach that front? Oh, this is going to be a pain if we can't reach that front. Okay, and then we have... Portugal versus Radical Portugal. We did want to get Portugal inside of our market. So that's one thing. That's like thing one. Alright, I am going to turn on electric railways here, but the problem is we're turning on 50 levels, and so this is going to add so much infrastructure instead of, it's going to add 600 infrastructure. And so, like, I wish you could slowly ramp it up, but you have to turn on all the levels all at once. Which, of course, is going to make it so it's not a problem. But we're going to need a lot more energy. We'll actually build it here, because they have all the infrastructure here. And we'll build it here. And I think these use engines, so this will dramatically increase the demand for engines. If you go here and take a look, our engine industry is not popping, as it were, so it'll help employ it. And then we also get more construction. Alright, we're going to take a pause and a quick look at any of these. Maybe they just back down. We could support, I don't want to think, I think this is too, we got too much of a hot mess going on to support revolutionary Portugal, but it would be something we could do. Let's move this guy over to this other front to try and push it faster. I think France is in debt by now. We've kind of been wiffle ball batting France a few times. If you go to diplomacy, or interactions rather, you take on debt. You can see how much debt they have. They have no debt. Let's see what their army looks like. Maybe they are running inferior PMs at this point. They have 5k power projection, and we have just a little bit more. So we're probably running the same PMs with just a few more guys. Netherlands backs down. That's interesting. We will declare neutrality here. Trying to keep an eye on this and making sure this stays active. Yeah, a little choppy with the scroll. This is why we stopped our Egypt run, as it were. If I recall correctly, because it seemed like we would just have to play towards the end of the game with them, maybe, to try and get it. Yeah, he's enforcing, and we don't have any war goals on France, so we could kind of just white peace out at a certain point. Not at the Funge War, but in this one, he just already... and a Stinka, so we could just capitulate. He has no war goals on us, so it doesn't matter. But, I think we want to... Spain no longer bankrolling us. When were they ever bankrolling us? What the hell? That is wild. Unless we are bankrolling them. Yeah, we're bankrolling them. Interesting, maybe they saved up enough to bankroll us for a day. We are suddenly not making like $1 million. I wonder where that's coming from. Our investment pool's building up pretty quick. It's because we're working on energy. Now, this construction sector drives an enormous amount of demand for goods, so we really don't want to let it just like completely turn off, because that'll make all of our places less profitable as well. So it's important to keep it going, but man, we like don't have much stuff to construct anymore. Let's try and figure it out. Glass is almost always up there in our market. We can produce some silk ourselves. In fact, if we're going to rumble with China, we actually do want to produce quite a bit of silk ourselves in order to save ourselves a little bit. We could go to trade routes and try and take a look. I know one of these is level 100 fabric route with China for 12k fabric and 700 silk. So let's... Alright, we need to make some fabric, I think, just to protect our local, like, what we got going on. We're gonna make it here because we turned on the electric trains, and here because we also turned on the electric trains. And this is probably not enough. We're gonna do 5 more everywhere. Except up there. Well, we can't up there. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of silk. And some silk here. And we're gonna slowly wind up. Because we can also import fabric from a lot of different people, so that's not too big a deal. In terms of goods. The silk is a bit harder to source, but I think we could still get it from a few people. And we could also do some other stuff we can wind down how much we're importing. If we go in here, I think we are currently protecting our fabric. Oh, we're not even protecting it. We don't even have it set to import focus, but it is so cheap in our market. Might want to set an export focus on ironclads because we're exporting them. It is one of our exporting goods. I have no idea how this front just moves so slow. It seems like when you have way more people on the front, it ought to move faster, but it does not. Someone is importing steamers. We got some convoys sunk. Man, the chop just really is starting to set in regards to the lag. So I'm hoping we can get this finished somewhat soon, but I'm not sure how we do it. Oh, we can force them in. Perfect. We will continue bankrolling them so that they like us. Gonna pause. And Great Britain, the British Republic will also ally us. Now, I'm not sure if we want to stay allied to them, because allies with them the alliances have seemed to really screw us over before, but we'll just let it happen, and we'll stick with it even though weird stuff can happen to us. Revolutionary Rome and Papal States. We've seen this Revolutionary Rome, okay. Interesting. I believe two Sicilies could not form because Sardinia Piedmont was puppeted. Form alliances was completed, so now we just have to solidify our technological advantage. I did not see what tech was researched because I clicked escape. But I could look through my PMs and see if we have anything new. Definitely love that a symbol appears when you... Alright, we're doing that. We want to kind of keep the price of transportation a little high. Right, we can't switch everything to elastics. What is bolt action rifles? Nice, we can switch. Oh, how much oil is this going to cost? Probably not a lot. I think we also want to increase the demand for oil. I think we're okay with that. And we will keep just paying gobs of money to our allies, because right now we are currently... Alright, if we take a look here, actually, we're paying 160k to people in terms of bankrolling. We are bankrolling quite a bit. I'm pushing into France pretty hard here, although they're pushing into Funge pretty hard. I'm wondering, it doesn't seem like cutting off supply routes is as useful as I thought it was before. Let's see, what else do we want to do here? We want to get... Well, we can't get the East India Trading Company in our market. They are already in our market here. These guys. We want to get Ecuador into our market. Brazil's already in our market. If we take a look, we can just... The United States and Brazil are the really big ones, so is Persia. And this is how we're really growing our pop, is because we're sapping off pops from them. We're getting sea lane strategies so we can get Dreadnought, so we can finish this up. And then if it tells us that we'll get a thing later, then we'll tear our hair out, because that's currently what we have with Conquer Equatoria. Yeah, all of this is not on us, but they want to also annex Funj and take Patagonia as a treaty port. Well, we can't allow that. But here, they just want to annex Dinklia, and they already had, so we're going to capitulate. Just to clean up the war. And we get the Ripper. Why did all of our... Oh my god, all of our generals got moved, but did they get moved back in place? Who knows? Oh, they got all moved over here. Okay, well, I suppose that's fine-ish. I'm gonna declare neutrality here. And here. I think we were also trying to get Afghanistan or Clout in. But Afghanistan has their isolation-ish, so we couldn't. Alright, we do need to... We're gonna check and see if we have insufficient tax capacity in Shikoku, Kanto, Chubu, Tohoku. So it looks like it's all the 6 provinces. We're just gonna build a government admin everywhere. I don't want to build another railroad in these places just yet, because I want to turn on electric railroads. That's how I want to go about this. Blitzing through them here, but can't do anything about the Funj thing. It is a little annoying because we can't declare another war while we're in this, but that's kind of fine. I think us fighting France is a big part of why we are able to get allies in the British and Spain. Is that regular Netherlands? Tudor. I don't think we could make them into a protectorate, but why can't we invite them to our customs union? They're not cordial. We are going to bankroll them. And we get suffrage. Very nice. Very lucky with the 10% ticks back to back. Alright, now I think our laws are exactly where we want them. Private health insurance, so maybe we'd want to change landed voting to something. But I'm kind of okay getting all this extra authority and having the upper class have a little bit more power. I don't want to have really large, powerful political movements from the trade unionists. Right now, the trade unionists like us quite a bit. Because we have a lot of laws that they like. They are not extraordinarily powerful. We don't want to capitulate because we don't want to give them a treaty port, so we are going to be in this war until they decide they don't want to be in this war anymore. Which I suppose we could reasonably make sooner. I think we're going to raid convoys kind of closer to their home. And look to land them here with one of our bigger guys. Yep. capitulate to Funj. I do not think we're too big in trouble here, although we don't have any war goals, so we don't want to capitulate though, but maybe we've gotten ourselves in trouble for no reason with this war, but honor is reason enough when you're this powerful and you're at the end of the run and you kind of don't care. Our enemy Tunis. Was Tunis not in the war before? Gonna move a couple of these guys over. They can interestingly get out of this anytime they want just by capitulating. The auto dividers notably not doing a very good job balancing these fronts. Gonna check this. What's this? I guess we're gonna be part of it. Where's the Sokoto? Now, it had, like, in a way that we can't really... I don't think we can set it to... I had a weird war where I couldn't set something to on the fence. It felt really bad. Interestingly, getting some chop. This war's... We're winning here and then... not winning over here, I guess. Even though we have way more guys. Now, why are we having such a big disadvantage? They just have this enormous defense and offense. What the fuck? Why is it so high? I wish we could hover over and see why. Do they get trench? Ah, they did get trenches. We're never pushing into them now. Okay. So we are just gonna have to actually wait them out because they are PM ahead of us. Yeah. Or only on advance on fronts where we have way more guys. They should be paying a lot more for this though than we are. It looks like he's not advancing at all anyway. I really hate that you cannot declare 2 wars. It's pretty ridiculous. And we do have construction that's unused, so we're going to pause. People are importing glass from us. It's not something we like. I think we're going to build more cotton though. We're going to look see where we have some peasants. wind up our cotton industry a little bit. I think we have it set on defense versus defense, so he doesn't want white peace. He is getting loans and turmoil though, which is like, we kind of just wanted to beat him up. We have a $200 million bank and he is going into debt. Gonna make sure we have level 1 resources everywhere, I think, and then set them to auto build if we've not already. Coal fields depleted, oh no, terrible. Which just means we have a chance at being able to produce more. Okay. Bureaucratic shortfall again, but I think that we don't have oh man, this is starting to get really choppy. Okay, so I didn't see a place that had low thing, so we'll just build one here. I think we'll turn on the electric trains here, and then I'll take care of your throughput problem. Don't think it'll destroy. They're just having a bad time. Terms to white peace, they probably do accept. And now, let's see. Now we can start a war because we're only part of the play, we're not part of a war yet. And we're going to see what's expensive in our market and try and lower it. Now, opium we can't make. Dyes we can work on. We do have a synthetic plant that we've been expanding. And it looks like both are going to be profitable and both have peasants there. So we're gonna add to both of them quite a bit. Now the reason I'm not building synthetic or building dyes places or what is it? Dyes in the agriculture, dye plantations, is because the synthetic plants we can build up infinitely. The dye plantations use arable land, and so they do have a cap. Wow, you're mega profitable. Probably just only because we're exporting, so we have to keep exporting. So I won't I'll try not to overexpand there. And employment's terrible. So even though military goods are some of the more expensive goods in our market, we can't push up the goods by expanding the military, which is tremendously interesting to me. We'll expand tooling in Kyushu a little bit. Kyushu, I'm probably going to have to turn on the electric trains in just a sec. And with Austria, we will demand that they return Austrian Sinai for 7 infamy. I assume they back down. Ooh, Spain is one of our allies, which will... Oh, we will have those allies, because we're not a herb derp. Okay. Now, it's unfortunate, but we do not have a land border with Austria here. will just mobilize the 200 stacks. I think this might be enough to get him to back down. We also, it said we would have our allies at the start, but it doesn't, we do not automatically get our allies on our side, so I don't know how I feel about this, where we are automatically pulled into their war, unless what happens if we set here? So we lose 50 relations, so are we gonna lose 50 relations because they don't want to join our war? How's that work? We just can't get them to join us in an offensive war and then maybe tank our relations too? Come on. And here, we just automatically join. The diplomacy seems like pretty broken. But okay. Take Kanto Treaty Port. Can't sway anyone. Well, gotta pause. I wanna take a moment. Let's take a look at where we have some peasants. Basara, Eastern New Guinea, South Angola. So I think this is South Angola, yeah. So we will expand the plantations a little here. A little bit of that. And that's all. This is Eastern New Guinea here. We will make that a nice even 10. I know I said the thing about not building a lot there, or building them up like that. And we'll do a little bit there. So we will get those peasants out of there. And then I am just very confident electricity is becoming expensive, so we will... Well, actually, I'm not all that confident. And Kyushu, we will take a look at turning on the railways. Got 34 levels is a lot. It's gonna bring down the price of transport. Yeah, pretty disappointed to see how alliances work when they're... Oh, wait. Yeah, when they're on our side. Because no one comes to help us against Austria, nor can we even sway anyone to help us. It is just this, we do have more mobilized. Let's see, we have Peru, Bolivia, we have Brunei. These are our subjects: Banjar, Congo, Jabal Shamar. I don't know. We cannot sway Spain or UK, who are our allies, to join the war, but we automatically join their wars. Yeah, don't like that. Sure, trade agreement. I don't know if we need to have the alliances for this to activate properly, so I'm not... I saw France begins mobilization. Did they join the enemy? As in Austria? No, they did not. Don't know how Austria is confident. Oh, because I'm just involved in other wars? Yeah, that's not gonna move the needle, bub. They don't... Those wars are so one-sided. But I guess we'll need to full mobilize, so... Remind me to not recruit more guys just to try and get IGs I want. And instead just settle for promoting the armed forces, guys. So what we want is industrialists, and you almost never roll industrialist generals. Okay. Alright, we're gonna build both the canals. Now, one thing that's almost always expensive is, or has been, is glass. So we'll expand that everywhere. Not Shikoku. Another front. Oh, there. Guess we should try and resolve some of these. Santiago has low market access. I'm going to turn on electric trains, and that should fix that. Tohoku. Japanese Panama is low. Okay, I see what you mean. Hokkaido's a little low, and Sinai is low. Yeah, I see what you mean. Not sure how Austria plans on winning this, because I don't think they can. They're confident, just because we're involved in other areas. It'd be interesting to see how confident the AI thinks we should be. Got automatic glass blowers for glass, which I think is just a labor-saving PM, but we are starting to need more of that. How much oil? 5k oil. I think that's probably like 3x what we even have in our entire market right now, just because we don't have a very high demand for oil. Oh, it's not too bad. I don't think it's worth turning on though. We might turn it on in one or two places. Kind of like how we have assembly lines on in a couple places. Turn on arcades in a couple places. I don't think we can turn on arcades everywhere, or even close. I think this would be too much steel and glass. We do want to start switching. See, the really, really big places, it's too expensive to switch because the labor there is really expensive. But where the labor's not expensive, arcades are great. Which I feel like is not kind of the way it should work, but it is. Again, really chomping on the lag. This is just like super unwinnable. We could actually, if we wanted to, create a little bit of demand for like small arms just by doing this, which I think is actually okay. It's all in our conscripts, but it seems fine. trying to create demand to make our places more profitable. Consumption is what drives the economy. Speaking of, we will have to increase consumption in some areas. Let's see where we have a lot of peasants. So Hero Land. I'm very excited I can right click in order to zoom in. So Hero Land. Livestock production is not exactly where it's at, and we're maxed out in a lot of other stuff. I don't want to build industry there. I guess I will drop one food industry, and then that's it. Kind of looking for a place that I could expand farming. Unused arable land. Okay, so we got a little bit of unused arable land here to work with. What do we predict to earn the most of? Probably not there. So this looks like it's coffee and tea. Seems fine. We'll see how this war shakes out. Well, it shakes out with us instantly pulling down the spot, so we will navally invade with this guy. The other guy's raiding convoys. I don't think he has a very big navy. Double check, I suppose. His navy's huge. Interesting. But we've occupied the war goal, so... And the British are just getting trashed here. So we will actually now move some of our weaker generals to that front and win their war for them. Notably, we created a few barracks here, so that's kind of funny to see them now holding this front. Okay. Much lag, much excite. Gonna continue to try and see if we can build some stuff up. Actually, let's see if we can expand this industry. It said I researched radio. I thought it researched radio. Oh, that must have been one of these pop-ups. Yeah, radio production. Yeah, okay, just helping the relations. Don't really need more radio production, I don't think. I don't even know what rate at which is being consumed. It's gonna be kind of hard to bring this. Yeah, it's always the porcelain, isn't it? Just like, even after I just keep building a bunch of glass, it's just... Alright, so now we can research dreadnoughts and get ourselves out of the hellscape that is this lagginess that's like being driven mostly by us probably just being way stronger than the game intends and way larger, but we can still complain about it. I'm not going to want to switch the PMs quite yet. And we are going to take a quick look at if we can get people into our customs union. Now we could owe an obligation to Ecuador, but I'd rather pay them an obligation. So who is this now? Kiva. They're not particularly close. New Granada. Yeah, they're still not... They're still antagonistic, so we'll actually stop improving relations. Currently just bankrolling our allies, in case we need to be allied with them for the next phase of this thing. Well, I doubt it. It's kind of all a bit gratuitous. Did we land? No, our landing failed. Oh no, it didn't fail yet. It probably will though. Let's see if we're paying a lot. We're paying quite a bit in subsidies. Welfare's going up, which I'm kind of okay with, but it generally seems to just go up, and maybe it's just... I don't really know. It's also, with every building we construct, it gets harder and harder to make more money out of each building, because we get situations like where we're in here, where like a lot of these buildings do not reach full employment anymore. But increasing the size does increase on economies of scale. Notably, I think the glassworks is always like fully employed, yeah. So I suppose we should also expand the lead mines. As the input for glass. Declare some neutrality up in here. (1906) pure pain. Yeah, we've built extraordinarily tall in Japan, and no industry anywhere else. We haven't even built up here, which I think if we were to incorporate, it would, yeah, it'd take 20 years, so like, very much overseas for us, despite being like quite close, depending on your outlook. Add to some of these fronts. So we can win their war for them. Our naval invasion failed, but we do have the war goal with Austria. So I'm guessing they will tick down pretty... Yeah, not like fast, but fast enough for us. Considering incorporating some of the places that have oil, I'm trying to figure out if that's good to do or not. That's kind of one of the more interesting things I've thought about for this game. There are a lot of people here who are peasants, so we'll just add some stuff. And we will turn on electric chains, kind of preemptively for that. We'll take a look here in terms of infrastructure, how we're doing. 96 is tolerable. We're building a lot more there, but the problem is we don't want to build any more railroads, and we want to switch over the railways to electric train. And we'll do it. We have been working on bringing electricity down in price, although it's still one of our more expensive goods. Fertilizer's expensive, but we want it to be expensive, because that makes the boom boom cheapers. We just kind of want to empower the industrialists in general, so we're going to go with that. Ooh, auto-expand on the radio plants. Always kind of curious how this auto-expand rolls out. One is on iron. Oh no, those are manual. Oh well. Some serious chop. Yeah, Austria's going down quite significantly. I don't think they have the means by which to land us. So just have to wait them out. Not going to try and land them again. Our radicals are climbing up. Let's see why. I think they're just getting fired from buildings. Yeah. And they're getting like shuffled around. We did see some standard of living decrease, but that wasn't super significant. Take a quick look at our PMs, but I think we're kind of well set up. I wish there was a way to set PMs in incorporated states a certain way and in unincorporated states another way, but there doesn't seem to be, other than doing it like manually. Could turn on more rubber. I think that the phone, I want the rubber to go into the electronics industries though, in general. I can expand it a little bit. I know it's on auto build, but we'll expand it where there's guys. I'm gonna take a look at infrastructure here. There's some infrastructure problems in Kasai, and we will turn on the railway to try and fix that. Seems to have fixed it. Gonna take a look down here. Our territory. Could we want to integrate these guys at some point? I think we still have a truce with them because they have oil. We also want to invade Venezuela for oil. The tasty oil. Kind of hard to find in the late game. We could switch on more PMs that use the oil and really start extracting it. What's this? An event. Alright, I gotta pause. Yeah, we like this guy, I guess. He's been our head general for like forever. I think our standard of living's the highest, yeah. Well, Great Britain's losing. Interesting. Well, we're gonna win this war for them, I guess, because they can't send soldiers themselves? I don't know. Kind kind of just waiting on this tech to see what's what. I guess we can increase speed and just try and keep our building up. So let's see if there's anything particularly expensive in our market. It's kind of just been the same old story. Radios are expensive, that's wild. Okay. Well, we might need to build in a new area. So where has a lot of peasants? Kansai, Masaru, and Shubu. So why don't we build up a little bit in Kansai? And then we're going to set it to auto expand as well. So that's going to help with the expensive radios a little bit. We're already working on lead. Fertilizer we want expensive. We cannot work on wood anymore because, well, we can import it. French market, yeah, I don't think they like that too much. And iron's kind of expensive. I mean, I guess we could just import it from the French. And we have declare interests. I think we want an interest in Russia. I didn't see Russia in there who we could trade with, and they would make a nice trading partner because they do have a lot of that stuff. I suppose we kind of want to import lead. I said I wasn't going to trade with the Confederacy, I lied. Now, radios are expensive, telephones are not. I think maybe we want to try and export telephones, although I don't think we will be able to. Yeah, no demand elsewhere. We'll just put in the French one for now. Tools are a little expensive. Ironclads are a little expensive. We're exporting them though. So we kind of want them to be a little expensive. Could export steel. Our steel industry is a little deflated. I guess we want to import fish because we're capped out on fish. Getting clapped. I guess we should have been on this front to begin with. I guess maybe they thought we would fight their entire war for them. This 99% business is lack of convoys, I think. Or convoys being funny, or capital being funny. Or funny paradox math. I think it might just be some of our convoys getting sunk. Alright, we do need to build more construction though. Build a little of this, I guess. Some of that. Kaido, this is the last little bit. Booze is expensive, but having a hard time bringing it down. Of course, The Japanese people in this game want only one thing, and it's fucking ceramics. I think we will finish just expending out all the lead. So we don't have to worry about it anymore. I guess we can move like even more guys to this front. I don't know, I feel like Britain started a war with Sokoto, and then they couldn't even win the war by themselves. It's like, what? Alright, but we want to move at a good clip and get our tech. So, can't worry too much. Alright, I think motors and steel... Well, let's see if our steel places are... Alright, well, I'm gonna build a little bit more here. Make them more effective from economies of scale. These have already capped out on economies of scale. And we're already with that with motor industries. I really don't think we need more motor industries. We could maybe build more food. So that will cap. I believe 50 is the cap now for economies of scale. Are you making money, making ammo? I guess a little bit. I was trying to close out of whatever. I know it was one of these techs, I'll just take a look. Wow, Sokoto enforces on them. Alright, central planning is what I got. And I can now use telephone switchboards. So... Everywhere's getting low market access. I think I don't have enough convoys. Tohoku has insufficient taxation capacity. I'm going to turn on the switchboards there. And then also... Yeah, I think it's a lack of convoys. Let's turn these on. I think this is partially from the lack of infrastructure or whatever, or yeah, so we'll do this to solve it. And I think too many trades maybe. We also had sunk convoys that got sunk. I'm gonna cancel inactive trade routes, all of them. We're going to cancel this unproductive trade route and this one and try and slowly, I think that'll make this other one productive. I think that'll also solve our problem. We're exporting them fertilizer. Continue to export fertilizer to people who we feel that we can take it. Okay, now let's try and fix this up some more. Fabric's still unproductive. I don't think that that's the case. We're exporting booze. Exporting tea. Wow, that's a really high level to British. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's fine. Exporting ironclads. Seems fine. Let's protect our hardwood. So we're importing it. We're going to protect our iron as well. I think I'm fine with the sulfur getting pilfered a little bit. We're not like having problems with it. I'm fine with people importing clothes from us. We want to protect lead. And they want a defensive pact. Progressive party wins, as always. What are you trying to do? Subjugate Siam. We'll lean towards him. Take, build another railway. Electric train, upgrade it. Add a couple ports. Hopefully that kind of fixes the problem. Hopefully it fixes this lag. Holy fucking shit. Radicals are starting to climb at a rate that exceeds. And I think it might just be shuffling around inside of this a little bit. Standard of living's been pretty level. We could try and export more goods. Well, we will cancel these if they're allegedly unproductive. I actually kind of want to cancel this one. And switch to importing silk from someone else. Cambodia seems fine. Our electronic switchboards, we got to turn them on somewhere else. Insufficient tax capacity, Shikoku. So we will turn on the electronic switchboards there. It's not going to even be that much though. Shikoku shouldn't have too many. Let's just turn them on in the biggest place. Yeah, and we're chilling. Now, we could probably increase institutions even. Workplace safety conditions may be a good one. I do want to increase health system. We do not have the law yet. We can increase policing, I suppose. Everyone loves some policing. Unless you're playing against the US. Yeah, let's look where we have peasants. Kansai has a ton of peasants. Here has a ton of peasants in the macro land. So let's expand the agriculture as much as we can here. Well, you have the wrong kind of agriculture, my guy, but we'll expand it a little bit and just kind of ask you to kindly migrate somewhere else. Currently, give us back what we want. Tour. I don't think millet makes quite what we want, so we'll do coffee and tea. Kind of focus a little on the tea because we know that the British will take it. A little bit of cotton, and then the rest there. And now we can, of course, build the canal. imagine the electronics industries are really profitable now. They are set to auto-expand though, so they can kind of auto-regulate themselves a little bit. We are perhaps needing to, I think that let's take a look at one of the energy places, see if it's fully employed. It is. Looks like they're fairly profitable. We do want to, the engines are, oh wow, the motor industry's expanded tremendously and is now wildly profitable. Which is a bit wild to see because it was kind of they were struggling for a while. Now this one's struggling. Interesting. Yeah, the motor industry, I think, just got... The electronics industry just, like, shot it through the roof. We will build a little bit more... Or sorry, not the electronics, but the power industry. Gonna look to build a little bit in places that have less than 50 but don't have peasants. And I know we have a little in Basara, which is like one of our overseas places. We are actually going to switch them to oil power at some point. Just because it's right there. I'm going to expand that a little. Basara has pops ready. Our opium route's not productive. We could reform our government. There's not really much reason to. We're fully legitimate, and it's not anything we want to pass anyways. Other than maybe going to oligarchy, but that's not... I don't think that's a plan. I don't think that's happening. We are approaching 100 million people. Maybe we could get the Ottomans in our market. So we'll start bankrolling them. I guess it's too late. We'll declare neutrality. Declare neutrality, don't care too much. So let's annex them. 7 infamy. We're currently reputable. I don't think we'd be reputable after that though. So we will hold on to our reputability. Portugal's not close to accepting. We can fight for Korea now, though. Why can't we return state? For Yang Ho. Youngin. Wow, there's still a lot of infamy. What do they have here? Not too much. Oh, I guess maybe their capitals? No, their capital's here. I guess we should take the return specifically on a place that has stuff that we want. Yangtze has a lot of natural resources. So they would be pretty easy, but Great Qing, who's now antagonistic, way less power, okay. So... Ah, but we don't want to get the infamy. Okay, well, we're just gonna sit on this for a while. Eastern New Guinea. We will turn on your electronic railroads to fix your problem. Sinai, we're currently fixing your problem. Los Rios, I think that, yeah, electronic trains will fix your problem, probably. Buenos Aires, we will, turn on electronic trains. And then add some wheat farms, because we know that we don't want to make more livestock farms, so we'll just build this up to max, I think. Okay, and we gotta get rid of this somehow. We're already running absolute minimum on the taxes. I suppose we could increase government wages or something. Like, we're not getting any bonuses from that specifically, but... And we're getting close to the tech, so we will see pretty soon here what we've bought. I'm gonna take a quick look at them. Well, they're cooperative. We do want their oil for Mosul, though. So I don't know how, if I feel too good about inviting them into the market, knowing that we want to backstab them later. Or maybe we could go after Venezuela instead. Yeah, this will be a nice little one. What is our... What do we get for puppeting them? I think we have to transfer... There's not even the puppet CB. We have to... Yeah, there's not even a puppet CB. Okay. Gonna see what's expensive in the market. Transportation, hell yeah, and electricity, also decent. Dyes are expensive. We're going to continue to expand these dye plants. But I think I'm going to expand them a whole lot more. Yeah, we have peasants in the areas. And running quite nice on the infrastructure in these places as well. Probably even afford... See, like, the thing to do would be to build more, actually. But, actually, let's do this. I can get the bonus from armed forces if I want. The duel. Yeah, go for it. I said something about not letting me recruit a general. I do actually need generals in specific regions, though. I got a general in the region down here. I can't believe this guy like lost Dakota just because he didn't want to fight his own war. Oh, it's gonna be 100 million soon. I think this standard living's timing. We are going to actually expand. A little bit. I think that as well we will want to think we can turn on the PM? No, cannot. Cannot turn on the airship PM. What is this about? See, I'm just automatically on his side. I'm just gonna keep it because I don't want to break it. Oh, it's a lot of infamy. I'm gonna start improving relations with him though. Gonna take a look at Ecuador. Been trying to get him into our customs union, but we just can't get an obligation from him. They're just antagonistic. Maybe we can get Mexico in? Gonna bankroll them. Maybe we can get the Confederate States in. Don't really want to bankroll them, but yeah, I do want them in the Union. I mean, I do want them in the Union. It's not the Union I'm talking about, but it's the Union they deserve. And I will be going to war soon, so if I want to start it, if I wanted to start a war, I should start it, because I'm not going to get a chance. So what about integrating this guy? I can't do, oh, I gotta damage relationships. Need to think ahead on that one. I could integrate him. I think 25 is the threshold. I could just chill. Oh, I could switch these PMs to slightly better ones. And what about this? Switch those. Makes landing me much harder, although the AI has not tried to do that yet. Of course, Japanese people only want that one thing, and it's fucking more porcelain. Alright, we get Dreadnought for the base. And we get more challenges where will appear eventually again. So I will begin to wind down this episode. It's a little frustrating. I was hoping it was just something was bugged. What is expensive in our market? And let's see if that will inform opium. Oh hell yeah, we can import from them and them. Okay. We're so close to 100 million. Pop. And then what tech? Houseware plastics. I mean, I think this uses oil, yeah. Then we will switch over to the Dreadnought. tick, we will get an event. But so this is what happened with our our Egypt run. We got this war challenges will appear eventually. We waited like a really long time, couldn't really do much of anything, and then the game started getting choppy because the late game performance is not all that great. Not that we have the best PC, but we don't have the worst PC either. And yeah, so alright, we're importing a ton of opium from the East India Company. So we will look to export something from them, and then we'll look to save, and then this might be the last episode of the run with Japan. Just because might switch back to the Egypt one to get the Hegemony achievement. Obviously, we are by far... We'll actually go through some of the stuff. We can export ironclads, coal. They really need coal. Ironclads, coal. Ironclad, coal, tools. Steel a little bit. Don't know how I feel about exporting the coal. I think I'll just export the steel. And I can export them cannons too. And then I can export glass, I suppose. It'll help me make more porcelain. What's cheap for you? Sugar, wine. Wine's expensive for us, so why don't we import sugar? Or wait, why don't we import wine? Meat is real cheap too. Meat, fabric. You get fabric from them. Meat, fabric, tea, sugar. Meat, fabric, tea, sugar. Importing and exporting tea. That seems fine. Ish. It's really cheap from them, so. Exporting liquor. The routes to Ecuador are trying to get them into our custom union. Hello. I'm gonna stop exporting hardwood to the British. And to the Spanish. Because we've got the hegemony thing and we did not need them for allies. Whatever. And that's all cleaned up enough. Alright, so we'll take a quick look at our stats before the end of this episode. With over 10k prestige, GDP of 1.5 billion, standard of living of just under 25, and we almost 100 or 100 million people. Number 3 in pop. This is pretty high pop. Japan starts with a really high population to begin with. Also, it's interesting how education seems to integrate a lot of them, because we haven't grown to 100 pop. Like, a lot of it's importing population, right? But we're still 63 million Japanese. I don't think this is from the Japanese pop, like, doubling as much as, like, it includes, like, incorporating them. Religion doesn't matter because we have separation, and if we take a look, only 5 million are lower. Oh, 5 million are receiving welfare payments, increasing their standard of living. How much are we paying on welfare? 150,000. So our welfare payments are starting to climb up quite a lot. Yeah. have porcelain, because they're Japanese. Groceries, transportation is expensive. Maybe we even want to bring down transportation a little bit. All their goods are expensive. Ooh, coffee is not. Most of what they're consuming is like cheap. Is that bugs? Budget dividend taxes, okay. Well, this is interesting. We could see who pay. They pay 15% of their income in taxes. They pay 17. So we have a progressive tax rate, progressive-ish. Transport, it's interesting, it's such a high percentage of their expenditures. I don't think we can form a nation. We have total separation. Perhaps we did not want to do that for the full Japan experience because we could go state Shinto. We take a look. Antarctic expedition. I haven't seen this one before, but that's interesting. We can map the American Western frontier. The Ripper is at large. The, what is it? I thought we had an event specifically for us going state Shinto. But if we look at our trade union is huge. The Japanese market includes almost all of South America. It includes the United States, big chunk of the Congo, which is us. Notably, we've kind of been fighting the French over this. Are we actually gonna... Okay, well... I didn't realize... and then I think that the colonization's all done, basically. At least in the Congo. You know, it's this, which we can't get to. This is which we're getting currently. And, I guess Rwanda, we could kind of take some of this stuff, but this is pretty much over here. Why don't we just switch you to electric now? And so, yep, this has been an interesting run. I think Japan is just like it's a very interesting start nation because you have the whole isolationist thing and the samurai with the bakufu thing, and so like trying to disempower the Japanese or the shogunate is like interesting, and like you'll start off with like a really, I think you have like you're one of the biggest pop starts that's like kind of backward other than China. Like if we take a look at the current pops, you know. Ottoman, I guess, would be the next one, which Ottoman run is interesting as well. They have some special events for it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. This is the last Japan run. It was a blast. Other than all the stuff we complained about, because, you know, we love whinging. We are waiting for more challenges to appear eventually. Anyways, I will save this up, and you have a good one. Feel free to do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day.